I'm not leaving YouTube, but I am reevaluating the way I approach my YouTube channel and make content. Something I've realized in recent times, especially after making my last video, which was which 360 camera should you buy in 2024, is that it took me so much time to make that video that if I were to continue at that pace going forward, I'm not going to get much content made this year. To go into that much depth into research, into shooting, editing, the whole process is so in-depth and just really, there's so many steps in the workflow. And it's exhausting. To be honest, I love it for sure, but it's really exhausting having to spend that much time on something. And while I know that's a video for me that always does well, not all of my videos perform well, and often you're investing a lot of time as a content creator in your content, and it's a gamble. It's always a gamble as to whether your idea is going to resonate or not. And I've realized that over the years, after enough videos that have completely bombed, while I have had a lot of successful videos, I've also had quite a few that have bombed and had very few views, and I've spent weeks, sometimes even months on a video. And I think after this time, I've been on YouTube for, 7 years now. I'm really aware of the ROI of my time. If you don't know what that means, return on investment. Return often means the return you get. So the financial return through whether you've got products or ad revenue, sponsorships and so on. So it can be financial return, but also channel and subscriber growth. So that's the return part of ROI. And then there's the investment part. Investment is the time you take to make that content that gets the return. And after a lot of reflection lately, I've found that I'm not consistently getting the ROI of my time that ideally I would hope for. And that's just part of the game. I can admit that, that's the risk you take when you're a content creator. You're gambling on your creative ideas resonating and your ROI of your time being worthwhile. But there also reaches a point where you've spent so much of your time on making content and you realize how much of that time is wasted. And I think it's important to identify which areas you're most wasting time on and reducing those. It's as simple as that. You don't need to kind of give up. I know there's a lot of YouTubers at the moment that are basically kind of giving up on YouTube, saying they're quitting. Either they are or they're scaling back a lot. And I was thinking about that a lot when it first started happening. And I just thought, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm happy with how things are going with my channel, for sure. But a lot of these people are saying things that resonate with me, just with the amount of time you take to put into your content. And honestly, if you're on YouTube and you're just solely relying on ad revenue, it's something that can be really disappointing. You don't make much money with ad revenue, even with the level of subscribers I have now, 170K. It's nothing. You cannot survive on YouTube ad revenue unless you're a massive channel, 1 million subscribers plus. It actually starts becoming something. But at my level, it's really not. So YouTube doesn't necessarily reward its creators very well. It's up to you to find those rewards by having your own products, having your own CTAs to either one-on-one coaching, consulting, or services, or whatever. It's up to you to kind of monetize. And anyway, so all these creators have been shifting away from the platform, and while I'm not going to do that, I've realized it's probably time for me to address this ROI equation, because I think I'm a really good content creator at this point, but I've still wasted so much of my time, I think, on content ideas that have flopped, but also creating the actual videos, the process of creating a video. it's very time consuming. Like I said at the start, my last video took me nearly 3 weeks to make. It's too much time, and a big part of that is the editing process. Like when we think of the term content creator, you think it's, oh, you get to travel the world and you're filming all the time and stuff. Nah. The reality is, being a content creator, the majority of it, you're in front of your desk editing. That's like 80% of the job. The rest is filming and creating ideas, but editing is the majority of it. That's what takes a lot of time, and I realized just recently that I was spending too much time editing. My edits have kind of gotten too big, the scale is too big, and it's out of control. Like, it's really just, I've gotten my videos to a level where I'm putting in so much thought and effort into every last arrow and text line and sound effect and so on that it's actually taking the fun out of being a content creator, because I can't post videos very often. So I realized that for me personally, what's satisfying as a content creator is turning over work faster. So that's the big issue. How can you make more work that's just as good? Because often when you think of the best videos on YouTube or the best videos you might have seen, it's not necessarily because of the high production level, and it's not because the person spent a lot of time editing. It's because of the premise of the video. Like, that is what's important. That's what resonates, messages from you to your audience. So upon reflecting on that, I think for me personally in 2024, this is going to be my new focus, is how can I focus more on ideas and less time on the actual creation, because I need to be making more content. One video every 2-3 weeks like I've done in previous years, it's just not enough. So I've decided in 2024, I'm going to really simplify my workflow as much as I can. Part of that comes from the actual editing workflow. Like I said, Premiere Pro takes a long time. I made a reel very recently about why I'm switching to DaVinci Resolve. I found that that's actually a really good platform for editing videos, editing professional content for clients and so on. It's completely free and it's just as good as Premiere. So that's the first step, is I'm switching to DaVinci in the pursuit of a shorter workflow. Even though you can get short workflows in Premiere for sure, I've realized that some things like getting obsessed with the graphics and so on, that is only feasible when you have software that makes it extremely easy. I've already noticed in DaVinci, like, the inbuilt effects are so much better. They make it faster. You don't have to spend as much time keyframing, resizing, creating custom graphics, and like just the whole process is a bit time consuming. Also captions, like adding catchy video effects, like moving captions to reels and shorts and so on. That takes time, and it's not sustainable if you're doing it word by word yourself and literally adding in emojis and stuff yourself and having to reposition them in the video. I've wasted way too much time on that myself. So that's going to be a big thing that I'm looking to improve in my workflow. And I feel like DaVinci Resolve, yes, that's a start, but also something I'm very keen to explore in 2024 is another program called CapCut. I'm sure you've heard of them. This video isn't sponsored, by the way, by DaVinci or CapCut, but I did use CapCut on this reel that I made about why I'm switching from Premiere Pro to DaVinci. And CapCut was just so good at making these captions. It did what used to take me 1 to 2 hours in Premiere, and it did it in CapCut in like 10 minutes, and it did it way better. So in the pursuit of a shorter workflow, even though I do consider myself a professional video editor, I've been literally editing videos since I was 15 years old. I'm now 35, admittedly. It was my birthday yesterday. Yeah, getting old. But I've been editing videos for 20 years now. And I do consider myself a very advanced video editor. But something I've also realized over time is, as an advanced video editor, you're not looking for the most fancy software or the most expensive software. You're looking for a software that can do the job good enough, and a job that is fast, that's not taking forever, So it takes you weeks and weeks to make a video. That said, that video was over 30 minutes, which is the length of a TV show. So again, I think I need to just cut down my content a bit. But at the same time, I think it's important that you use tools that can help you shorten your workflow and create better content in less time. And I think DaVinci Resolve and CapCut are a great place to start. So yeah, that's kind of a bit of me thinking out loud about the plans for 2024. I want to make more content, but the way I was doing things before wasn't working with Premiere and with those longer videos. So my focus for this year is shorter videos. So I'm going to be aiming for like 5 to 10 minute videos max, and a lot more reels, because I can see reels are really resonating on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Facebook Reels. So to kind of focus on those mediums, but also reducing that workflow time, not spending endless amounts of time getting the perfect text graphic or the perfect animated arrow or whatever. That's really time wasted. It's bad ROI. And yeah, I think I'm going to focus a bit on editing on my channel as well. So that's an exciting topic that I'm very passionate about and very experienced with. So hope you guys can enjoy this new kind of style, this new direction I'm going to go in. I'm not even sure what it's going to be yet. I need to figure that out soon. So yeah, just some thoughts from an experienced content creator. I've been doing it for about 8 years on YouTube, 7 to 8 years. Learned a lot, made a ton of mistakes, but this is kind of where I'm at in 2024. It needs to be simple, and you need to get that satisfaction of turning over work as quickly as you can. The more videos you churn out, the happier you'll be, because if a video completely flops, it doesn't matter because you only spent a day on it, not 3 weeks. So I think that's important. Simple workflows are the way to go. Feel free to share your thoughts on this video below. I've literally never done a video in 1 take before, ever. I always take 1,000 takes, but I thought, you know what? Today's the day. It's going to be a 1-taker. All right, that's it. Peace out.